Hey, what is going on? IK fam, BN, you already know. We are back again for another dope sauce, dopey Infinity Kingdom video. Today, we are finally breaking into the Earth element, and we're going to be starting off talking about Charles and showing you his most used Tower of Knowledge skills. Now, for this one, because Charles is, again, a little more spender gated than Attila was when we did him in water, right? We had to dig a little deeper and do a little bit of kind of off. So what I did is I kind of did this hybrid of I went through some of the old servers while mixing in some of the strongest servers as well. And you can see here from the sidebar, we ended up going still to about S16. What we did is we just did a couple extra here in servers like S5 and S6 just to kind of make up for it, because the troop power was still high enough where even though we went for a fourth and a fifth march or main Earth march, it was still relevant. So again, just a little bit of an explanation on the data. Now, let's go ahead and show you guys, again, the most used skills currently. Again, this is a pool taken from 45 players through servers 1 through 16. Here we go. And let me just go to the top. You can kind of see for yourself. Again, you know, ones like Fighting Master, Malice, Resist, right? Some of these ones that you'll see consistently. There's a few off ones here that I noticed. Like Oaken Guard was one that seemed like it started getting a little more play. Malice is one that looked like it started getting a little more play. There was even Demon Body that I saw here, I think ran 2 or 3 times. Coercion, right? Some of these other ones that seemed like they were maybe just being tested. But again, a couple additionals. Now, let's go ahead and look at, oh gosh, I think I'm going to 6, which is 5. Okay, so we're going to do this. Okay, this looks a lot better. So here are the top 5 most used skills by Charles, and then again, we're going to go in-game and give you an explanation on the top 3 skills. Okay, skill number 5, Shelter. It was used 9 times out of 45 players. The number 4 skill used on Charles is Fighting Master, 13 out of 45, a little more than a third. Excuse me, about a quarter. Had a big yawn. Number 3, most used skill on Charles is Adrenaline Rush, used 14 times out of 45 players. The number 2 most used skill on Charles is Lifelink, used 17 times. Now we're getting to a little more than a third. Next is going to be the number 1 most used skill on Charles currently is Assist, used more than half of the amount of times. Okay, now let's go in game. Let's take a look at Tower of Knowledge, and let's go through each of the 3 skills. We're going to start with Adrenaline Rush, Lifelink, and Assist. And, oh, I'm sorry. What we always have to do first is, again, let's go ahead and look at Charles. So, I'm actually surprised I don't have Charles unlocked yet. Okay, here we go. 10 charts, here we go. So, the first skill, or I guess is active, Terra Shield. Creates a shield for all units that absorbs damage, absorbing 120% up to 400%. Your shield absorption will increase by additional 150 for 6 seconds. So, in short, he creates a shield for all of your units, including himself, that will absorb up to 400% damage at max level. In addition, Charles's personal shield will gain an additional 150, which means he'll be at 550% for 6 seconds. And then again, if the shield is still lasting after that, then of course it'll revert back to the 400%, or at least what's left of it. Okay? Now let's look at what are his skills, right? What direction is he going? And so Charles is a little more physical, right? 22 points to 21 points, right? So, again, depending on the scale, he's still going to lean a little more physical attack, most likely a little more physical defense compared to magic attack and defense, but still close enough, right? You could argue that just looking at these stats by default, right, Charles might even be hybrid to an extent when it comes to physical attack and magic. Now, let's look at the skills that are being ran on him. So let's start with Adrenaline Rush. Which, give me a moment because I have to make sure that I have these things memorized. Here we go. Every normal attack has a 50% chance of gaining 45 initial energy up to 150 energy at max level per attack, right? What they're essentially going for here by running Adrenaline Rush on Charles is they want to, again, use a skill that is going to proc his active, or his main skill, as frequent as possible, right? As much as possible. To keep getting that shield, keep getting that absorb, which is going to further provide more sustain for the remaining, for the other immortals, which means they may have a chance to use skills maybe 1 or even 2 more times, right? Depending on the frequency. Lifelink. Every 6 seconds after the battle starts, has a 50% chance of creating a lifelink with 2 enemy units. They will share your received damage of 15% for 6 seconds. And again, that's 15% up to 50, right? So they can share up to 50% of your, in this case, Charles's, received damage for 6 seconds. And then again, every 6 seconds after the battle starts has a 50% chance of creating, right? So basically, it's on a 12-second rotation, right? It'll proc if it goes, so like let's say the first 6 seconds it doesn't work, okay? Then the next 6 seconds, which is now you're at second 12 or 12 seconds in, it procs, right? Then it'll go from 12 to 18, and then after 18 finishes, I would imagine that this resets, right? I guess logically speaking, maybe that's how it works, or it'll just auto hit. After, my assumption is that it wouldn't, because if it's activated, you would have to wait for it to deactivate, and then the timer would start, and then you'd go from 18 seconds to 24 before it could have the chance to proc again. So there's like a 6-second interval if it goes off. Now again, that's not confirmed. That's just my best guess. Again, I'll ask and see if we can get a clarification on that, and then if so, I will provide an update in the description below. If not, I'll have it as the top pinned comment that I'll update it on. So if you ever come and check this video back again, it'll either be the top of the description or it'll be within the pinned comment above to provide clarification. Now, the next is Assist, right? This is the next most used skill by Charles. And gosh, I have to remember, it's not Shelter. Oh, no, sorry. Assist is still epic. Where am I going? It's not Resist. It's the other thing. Oh, gosh, I'm having a big brain fart here. Here we go. No, that's Shelter. Hang on, that was... Wait, so what did I just click on? Oh, God. Oh, here we go. It's the shield. No, but it is a shield. Where is... Here we go. Gosh, having so difficult to find. Oh, but Jesus. Okay, here we go. Most used skill on Charles. Every 10 seconds after battle starts, assists 1 random back row allied troop by transferring all of their received damage to you, and reduces the damage you receive by 7.5%, again, up to 25% for 6 seconds. Again, every 10 seconds in battle, right? Similar to how Lifelink works. Now, I really like Lifelink along with Assist on Charles. The reason I do is primarily because of the fact that he gets the additional shield on top of the already 400%, so he's getting 500% every time that procs, right? You can make the argument Charles, among possibly a few others, just depending once we start getting a little bit more deep diving into stats to see kind of how their magic defense and physical defense ends up playing out. And even at times, right, their resilience stats that you would see under physique as well, for being able to kind of take less crits, which factors into more overall damage, right? Maybe they have higher dodge rates, right? These are all things that you would look at. Again, even I'm just showing you an example here with Harold, but just things you would look at to try to determine whether or not someone like that immortal would be a little bit more adept at dealing with overall received damage, right? For why you would do something like putting Lifelink on. And then I think, personally, I think Assist and Lifelink are very complementary to each other, right? I think if you're trying to basically run a... Oh gosh, what's the technical term that I'm thinking of? If you're trying, not kite, if you are trying to aggro, right, pull aggro if I want to use another term, if you're trying to pull aggro onto a specific immortal, right, I think assist and lifelink are kind of really good variations of that, right? Because it's not like Charles' skill is a taunt, right? Where it says, okay, when the skill activates, he gets a shield, and then every immortal attacks him for 4 seconds, right? Something like that, right? Would be considered a taunt. Right? If he had that you could make the argument you might even run an additional third skill, or maybe even swap up one of the seconds. But these two skills kind of act as a indirect taunt, if you will. So I think it makes a lot of sense why Assist and Lifelink would be run. And I think Adrenaline Rush makes a lot of sense as well for any kind of immortal that you're looking to proc their skill a little more often, right? I like Adrenaline Rush on people that have higher attack speed. So something like an Alex who has increased attack speed, increased attack damage, he's going to be able to keep procking back and back and back, and arguably almost always have his main skill going, at least in the shortest amount of time that you can, right? Immortals like that. And then I think, again, working it into someone like Charles, it makes sense, right, when you look at the top 3 most used ToK skills. With that being said, that is it for me. I hope y'all enjoyed. Remember a few things here, right? We have our Immortal, our IK everything spreadsheet, which is specifically for the ToK Immortal skills. Again, that's in the description below. Y'all are more than welcome to check out our Discord server. There'll be a pinned comment below as well, and I think I'm going to try and add in the spreadsheet into that pinned comment just to make it easier access for one-clicks. And again, we're going to keep adding to it, so feel free. You guys can add the spreadsheet to your server. We're always going to update it. We'll eventually get through all the remaining immortals, and then we'll end up doing teams, right? So we'll kind of show you the most used skills on teams, and then we might even do something more creative at the end. So for mainly here, we're going to try and get through the next 4 to 5 Earth Immortals before we then move on to the next element that we'll end up telling you guys after we do the last Earth Immortal, epic Earth Immortal that we're going to cover for this series, or for this element series, I should say. That is it. I'm out. Until next time, we will see y'all later.